In this particular episode, you will be learning all about how to make custard. Now, my friends and family really enjoy a good Boston cream pie. So this is actually one of 4 episodes that will eventually teach you how to construct an entire Boston cream pie. So let's begin with our ingredients. Now, in order to make this delicious custard, you will need 6 eggs, just their egg yolks though. You will need a 1/2 cup of sugar. You will need a 1/3 cup of cornstarch, and you will need a 1/2 cup of milk. Okay, so let's go ahead and put our egg yolks in first. Now, we're going to turn this on. Now, if you have a KitchenAid, your medium is between 5 and 6 speed. Now, you're going to want to use your whisk attachment. Then, you're going to want to slowly incorporate your sugar. You want to make sure that your sugar is completely incorporated with your eggs. Now, I'm going to add my milk. Of course, sometimes you just have to pick up the whisk. And I'm going to want to whisk again. Turn it off. And now incorporate my cornstarch. And then whisk it one more time. Okay, give it one more whirl. Turn the KitchenAid or whatever mixer you have off. And then now that this egg mixture is completely mixed and ready to go, we are going to go into the tempering section of this particular video. All right, everybody, just as promised, I have a magical stove that just appeared in front of me. Wow! Okay, we are now going to do the tempering section, where you will need a double boiler. If you don't have a double boiler, what you can also do is use a pot of water that is simmering, and then put a metal container over the top of it, and you can whisk in there. This way is a lot quicker. Now, what you're going to want is simmering water. As you can see, it's simmering, and it should be 3/4 of an inch from the bottom. Once that is simmering, what you can do is put the top of the double boiler on top. At this point, what we're going to do is we're going to add 1 3/4 cup milk, 2 teaspoons of vanilla, and then of course 1/4 cup sugar. The rest of these 2 ingredients, this is the egg mixture and the butter, and those come in a little bit later. So let's go ahead and put the milk into the pan. The sugar, and the vanilla. At this point, you're going to stir it just a little bit to make sure that all of the ingredients have been incorporated. I'm just going to use a whisk since it's the tool that I'm going to have to use in a little bit. And once you're comfortable that it has all been incorporated, put the whisk away, and you'll just stir occasionally, but you need to let it sit here and simmer for 5 minutes. Okay, so for the last minute now, I'm just going to whisk it so that it becomes a little bit frothy. All this does is make sure that the sugar and the milk is in fact incorporated. And you'll notice that a lot of bubbles are going to show up, which is the frothy part. It's kind of like you're steaming milk for a delicious cappuccino. Now that we have a frothy milk, we can incorporate the egg mixture that we had just made in the first section of this video. So when you add the egg mixture, you're going to want to make sure that you whisk it just a little bit to make sure that everything is still incorporated, depending on how long you decide to let the egg mixture sit. We're trying to make sure that the sugar and the cornstarch did not settle all the way to the bottom. Now we're going to need to whisk and incorporate the egg mixture as slowly as we can, but the whisking has to be as fast as we can. So you can see also how wonderful that egg mixture looks. Now we're gonna whisk this until the custard on the inside thickens and you see just a little bit of bubbles around the edge. That will mean that it's finally incorporated itself. So this can take up to 4 or 5 minutes. So you get to see by magic of the camera the thickening. All right, you can see how it's thickened here and it has a nice glaze over the wires of the whisk. That is exactly where we want to end with this particular step. It did do a little bit of bubbling around the edges, but I whisked it before you guys may have seen it occur. So we will turn the oven off, remove the top part of the boiler, and now we will incorporate the delicious 1 tablespoon of salted butter. And again, you're just gonna whisk this until it is completely melted. Okay, so now you're going to incorporate that until it's completely 100% mixed up in there. And then what you do as your final step is you place this into a bowl. Said bowl. Grab the plastic wrap. Place the plastic wrap on the very surface, of the custard. So you want it to touch the entire top of the custard. Don't push too hard because we don't actually want it stuck to the custard, but we do want it so that if a skin appears, it can easily remove it. So now what you'll do is you'll put this in your refrigerator, and if you're like me, you're going to make a Boston cream pie out of it. So we need it 100% cooled and set. That was how to make custard filling. Thank you very much, and I hope you have an enjoyable rest of your day.